Hi, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck Picture Book and Educational Program. Um, I promised that I would come back and talk a little bit more. Let's see if I can balance this. Hold on a second. I took all of my hardcover books down and I said, let me show that I do have it in softcover too. So that's my little promotional example. But I promised that I was going to come back and take a look at some of the articles that I've been reading about how resilience through social emotional learning can be taught and the importance of it. And as with COVID-19 being sort of the litmus test. And, it's really very, very encouraging because, as you know, that's why I began this whole program of doing YouTubes to promote my educational program, which I have to put in another plug. We are doing another edition of the Teacher's Guide, whereas before I had just the lessons. Now we've included the picture vocabulary cards in the book, so it's kind of augmented. And there may be yet another type of edition coming out, and there will be in the near future, which I will talk about because these articles truly started me rethinking about what I had done for teachers, what I had done for teachers and pouring all of this information that I had learned over my 27 plus years of working with students in special education programs. But more than that, my program is for all teachers to teach uh, basic literacy skills using some pretty high functioning vocabulary words with their pictures to encourage the students. When children learn a big word, they are just so proud. And I had students that were just like, I know what that word is. It's community. And because we had a picture of a little community. And as the garbage truck travels through his community, I wanted them to know what a community is because otherwise it just sounds like a word. But I'd taken the keywords of the story and I've attached pictures thanks to my wonderful formatter, Frank Spinoza. Thank you so much, Frank. So that we can see and show, and you can actually copy and display these cards as the story is being read. So that's the new development. It'll be out probably by next week. I have to just, do some editing and confirming of it for it to appear. But all of this is basically put together, and the social skills, I have to put a plug in. We start with really basic social skills like recognizing your emotions. What does a smile look like on your face? We talked about the happy little garbage truck has a smile, but then we talk about how children can identify how they're feeling from looking in the mirror, looking at their smile, making a frown when they're sad, just doing like sort of like rehearsing how these different emotions look and then talking about the emotions and dissecting from the facial expression to the feeling that's within. So that's just a little taste of what I went into in my social skills lessons because we start there and then we build. So all of this was done because I really saw how important social emotional skills were for the students that I was teaching. And as they had a better grasp of not only who they were as far as self-esteem, but how they were feeling and how they could relate to their peers, it really caused the student to blossom because they were able to go straight to, oh, I'm feeling sad. I don't want to do that. I says, well, what can make you feel a little bit better? I want to go outside and play. Well, once you finish this assignment, you only have a few more words to do. You will get an opportunity to go outside. Recess is only 10 minutes away. So we were able to have these really high level conversations because the children were able to express how they were feeling. And the expression, the communication is so very important, as you'll see as we go through these articles. So the first one that I'm going to include in my description box is an article by Kelly Brose, who's a West Hartford, Connecticut principal, and her article was entitled Behavioral Problems, New Challenges Post-COVID. And this is the article that I'm going to start with. And I also have another article, which I'll talk about a little bit later, which is a study that was done, which began in 2019. And, excuse me, in the paper was actually written in 2022 about how students responded to the COVID pandemic, with schools closed and being taught at home. So this both of them will go into details on this, but I wanted to start with Kelly's first because Ms. Browse talks about some of the background information and gives sort of, to me, an overview of what was going on pre-COVID, as well as what happened when the students came back to school and our way of educating students changed, shifted so that they would be more apt to um, take the masks off, get back into the regular mainstream of education. So, if you wanted to review this article prior to my going into it, the only thing I'll say today before I get into more details in the next talk, because like I said, I try to keep these pretty short, is that behavioral dysregulation, defines it, and I've seen several articles define it the same way, is it is caused by unfamiliar, unsettling, and unpredictable events that cause behavioral challenges in an individual. And I won't say just a student because it affected all of us, I'm pretty sure, the same way. And it was unsettling, unfamiliar, and but we as adults have more resilience within us. Students are learning, and a lot of these students were in that developmental stage, so it really impacted them. But we're going to talk about both this situation and those that it did not. So please subscribe, please share, and we'll continue this conversation in a bit. Thank you. Bye bye.